Hey, how's it going, everybody? It's your boy, Delightful Kiss Boy, and we're back with another coding session. We're going to continue on with the CloverPit Simulator coding. Okay, I got a little bit of coffee with me. Gus is in his captain's chair. You might hear him at some point. He's a noisy kitty sometimes, but we'll see. We'll see what's up. He's currently looking out the window. But anyway... yeah, I'm going to just continue on, and let's go. Let's open up good old Visual Studio here, and just there it is, CloverPit Analysis. And here we go. Okay, so picking up where we left off from last time, it's been a little less than a week, but in that time I have thought about some changes I would like to make. Now this is something that often happens when I'm working on code. Taking breaks is very beneficial and important for me because kind of getting out of what happens when you're writing code is you start to kind of go down little tunnels, we'll say, right? Where you're kind of on a one track, in a one track sort of frame of mind. You're like, okay, this is how I'm doing it. This is what we're gonna be doing, and then like later when you kind of stop, when you get out of the tunnel. And you're kind of just going about your day and doing other shit, you kind of let your mind wander and you realize, oh, I should probably be doing this a different way. And so that's kind of what's happened here. So I'm going to be changing some stuff around. Now you may be thinking it's like, okay, you're doing a bunch of stuff, like moving things around and naming things, and you're not actually implementing much in this time periods. But the thing about coding is that, like, honestly, if you want to have, like, I mean, this is a small project, but I'm going to be trying to extend this later for a larger scale analysis with the game. And so setting yourself up at the beginning of a project for success is going to pay dividends in the future, usually. It's especially good when you're working on a group project to be doing this kind of stuff because it's not just going to be you looking at the code and trying to understand the code. And so I try to think about like design and kind of how I'm naming things and where I'm putting things so that if somebody else were to look at my project, even if they're not going to, they wouldn't have too much trouble figuring out what's going on. I want it to be readable, I want it to be understandable, not only for other people but for myself, so that I can take like a week-long break and come back to it later and know what the hell's going on, right? So anyway, let me continue. I've been babbling here, but basically what I want to do is, let's go to the slot machine here, okay? Now, there's a couple things here. Let me go to spin. Now, spin, I have this this iSlot interface. Let me go ahead and, where is it? Go to definition. Here we go. It has a spin that takes a number of spins, okay? I actually don't want to do this because in the game, when we need to take it basically by spin, okay? Because there are modifiers that influence what's going on between each spin. And so I don't want to actually be like doing 7 spins at a time because the items may get updated from spin to spin to spin. So I basically want to take this parameter out completely. So let's go ahead and remove this parameter here so that we're fulfilling the contract laid out by the slot. But the other part of this is that I think I want to separate out the scoring from the, basically the symbol generation, the spin, in the slot machine. Potentially. Because it's like, why does the scoring need to be in the slot machine, really? Alternatively, I could have kind of a scoring logic that is referenced by the slot machine, but I think I want to take this out. So I think what I want to have happen is I want to have the slot machine be pretty lightweight. Basically take the symbol table in, have all the logic there that handles like luck and everything like that, but this is going to be purely for symbol generation. I'll return the spin outside of that, and then I'll have some other object using the symbols to both score, right? So give the player whatever money, but then also notify, like basically use the items to update the symbol and pattern tables as necessary, and whatever else would be going on. Update the items, what have you, right? So I think that's the pattern I'm going to do. So instead of returning an integer here, I think instead we want to be returning a, either a symbol array like this, or I could be returning a dedicated object that captures the symbol array. And I don't think that I need a dedicated, I don't think I really need a dedicated like object for the spin, right? I'm just trying to think about this because I mean, really at the end of the day, it is just an array of 15, of a 3x5 array of symbols, right? So I don't think I need to get fancy with it. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm basically going to turn this method into this method. I'm going to move all of the scoring to a dedicated scoring object, I think. Like a scoring manager that will, I'll just call it like scorer, right? That'll handle taking the spin and then scoring it and then paying out to the player. And then on top of that, yeah, so basically the scoring manager could either return a score or it could even just directly update the player. I don't exactly know what I want to be handling the in-between between the slot machine and like the player totals, that sort of stuff, right? So yeah, let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to switch this over to being returning symbols here. Let's go ahead and do that. Let me go to the iSlot machine, and I want that here as well. So there we go, and now it is fulfilling the contract because I just updated the contract. Let's get rid of this method here and just move this stuff into here. And now our slot machine is looking pretty lightweight, right? We don't even need the pattern table anymore because the pattern table is only necessary for scoring. There's a question of if I want to separate out the frequencies from the like if I want to divvy up the symbol table, like you can see here. Let me move this over. So that's the pattern table. Here's the symbol table here. You can see that all of this is presented in a single table, but there's no reason why I necessarily need the frequency data to live alongside the payout data, right? And I would still want to keep the object, I think, even though underlying it's just kind of a dictionary. But I think I can probably divvy this out into two separate objects, basically symbol frequencies versus symbol payouts, right? There's no reason they need to live together necessarily. And then what I can do is I can just pass the slot machine the frequencies and then go from there. And then later, the slot machine is going to have more advanced logic with like luck, for example. Luck influences the symbol generation. And so I could separate out those concepts. So I think I'm going to try to do that here. So let's go ahead and remove. So let me go to slot machine here. First of all, let me move out all of the scoring logic. So I think I want to create a scorer. Okay, so there's tables there. Let's just put this in the main directory for now, and we can move it later. I'm just going to call it scorer. Let's call it spin scorer. There we go, because that's what it does. It scores spins. Okay, so this is going to be a public class. I could make this a sequence of static methods, but all of the static methods would be taking in the symbol the pattern shit. So let me go ahead and actually I think I'm going to divvy out the pattern the symbol table from the symbol frequencies. So let's turn this into two separate ones. We're going to have symbol frequencies, right? So symbol frequencies, frequency table. Let's do that. Symbol frequency table. And we'll do symbol scoring table. There we go. So pattern table, let's rename this to be pattern scoring table to be consistent with the naming convention we have here, and then we're just basically going to divvy this up into two separate things. And then what I can do is I can even just get rid of this method and then just have this be an enumerable object itself, and I don't have to be doing this weird shit like get chances. So underlying it will just be a dictionary, but like I think I want to have dedicated methods to be updating this stuff, and it'll keep it more flexible. Even if down the road I don't end up using any functionality outside of the regular dictionary, it's going to be fine. Who cares, you know? It keeps us flexible. So let's go ahead and do this. So let me go to... So I'm making a lot of changes at once here, but we want to start off with the symbol scoring table here, I believe. So let's go ahead and do this. And let's do public class this. Let's go ahead and give a comment here. So table that contains information about how to score spins or given symbols. Symbols in spins. There we go. Let's say that. All right, so this is our symbol scoring table. Let's go to our, where is it? Symbol table. Let me just move this over here. So this is symbol to payout is what we need to be copying here, right? Let's see. So non-nullable. Yeah. Okay. Got it. Okay. And then what I want to do is let's go. We have a constructor here, so let's go ahead and put the constructor in. So public symbol scoring table, and let's go ahead and we'll just copy, like, you know, fuck it, we'll copy this shit, it doesn't matter. Symbol to payout, and that's the only thing we need here, I believe. Ooh, starting multiplier. So let's just put the multiplier in. I don't really know why. I was like, oh, I'll deal with that later. It's not very complex. Starting mult. Okay. So let's go ahead and put that in there as well. So private. So I will lump together the multiplier. You can see here there's the multiplier with the symbol scoring, because that's going to be used in scoring in general, right? So private int multiplier. Actually, this is gonna be a public. Yeah, so let's do int multiplier public get private set, right? Or is this, what am I doing here? What is going on? Private member is unused. Cannot specify accessibly. Okay, actually, no, sorry, I haven't done this one. Public int multiplier get private set. There we go. That's right. Okay. You put the public out there and then you do that shit. Okay, so we got a public int. So basically you can get the multiplier. You cannot set the multiplier. I mean, eventually we're going to need to update the multiplier though. So I guess actually let's just do get set. Yeah, never mind. Yeah, there we go. So let's go ahead and do that. Because this is just an int, so we can just return it. We don't need like fancy methods for this shit. So let's see here. So this dot, so let me just copy and paste this shit over actually. Let me just do this again. And then I'll remove the chance stuff here and add in the multiplier. So this dot multiplier equals starting mult. There we go. All right, pretty easy stuff here. And then now, what is it? We want get payout. Let's go ahead and just copy this over. Pretty straightforward. Boom. Copy that there. And then let's do it so that this is iterable. Right? So yeah, let's go ahead and do this. So I enumerable and where is it? Key value pair symbol double. Let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so it's an I enumerable of this, so then we have to go ahead and implement the interfaces here. And let's go ahead and do this. So return, so I enumerator, excuse me. So let's do this. So return this dot symbol to payout dot get enumerator. So we return the enumerator for the underlying dictionary here. And this one, same thing. We just do this as well. Right there, and I believe that works. Now, what is it? Get enumerator. Cannot implicitly convert type system, blah, 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 blah. To... IEnumerable, like IEnumerator, key value pair, symbol, double. CloverPit analysis dot enumerator to blah blah blah. Double. That's right. Oh, those are the chances. Yeah, sorry. This was for the chances because we just needed it for the chance. Never mind. We don't need this yet. We need it for the other table. My bad. So we don't actually need this. We don't yet need to enumerate through the payouts. So let's just not add it if we don't need it. Yeah, I forgot. That's for the chances. So let's go ahead and get rid of this for now. And that looks good to me. Okay. Yeah. Cool. So we got that. Let's go ahead and do the same thing with the frequency table. And the frequency table is the one that we need to be enumerable here. Yeah. Let's go ahead and do that. Public class frequency table. Let's do the same thing here, except I'll just change out some words, buddy. Table that contains information about symbol frequency in spins. Okay. So we got the frequency table here. And then let's just, yeah, do the same shit we were doing here. Private symbol to chance. Just like that. And then same thing with the constructor here. Symbol frequency table. And then let's go ahead and just get rid of that shit. Let's get rid of this shit. And let's get rid of this shit. And then boom. Let me see. Do we actually need to pull out any particular frequency is what I'm wondering. Well, we probably will at some point. So let's go ahead and just add it in. Yeah, so get chance there. Actually, I don't know if we do. Yeah, we don't need it yet, actually. So let's just go ahead and make this enumerable. IEnumerable of what we were doing last time. Key value pair symbol, blah, 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 double. Let's go ahead and do that shit. Boom, implement the interface here. And now this should work. All right, so return this dot symbol to chance dot get enumerator. And then the same thing down here. Okay. Boom. Okay. So that should all be good. We got two different tables for our symbol table now. Let's go ahead and remove the overall symbol table. Let's go back to the slot machine. And let's... this is all going to be fucked now, right? It's all going to be fucked. That's okay. Let's go ahead and get a... We got spin scorer out here, all right? So let's go ahead and just move all of our scoring logic out of the slot machine to the spin scorer here, okay? Also, I'll need to get rid of this at some point because there's no longer a symbol table object, but we'll come back to that. Yeah, so spin scorer, we're going to say scores spins from the slot machine. That's what it does. Okay, so the spin scorer is going to have a private read-only symbol scoring table. Symbol, I'll say scoring table. Well, yeah, symbol scoring. There we go, scoring table. And then we'll have a private read-only pattern scoring table. Pattern scoring table. It's going to take both of these and it's going to use that to score, right? I think that's all it needs right now. So let's go ahead and do that. It's going to be, let's just do this. Boom, boom, symbol scoring table. and pattern scoring table. Let's go ahead and put these on new lines so we can see this shit because we're zoomed in for the purposes of this demo. Let's keep it like that, and then this shit will be symbol scoring table equals pattern scoring table. Boom. Let's put the semicolon there. Okay, so we got our, this is all generated now. Let's go ahead and move back to the slot machine, and let's go ahead and we'll have a public score method, and then we'll have all of this shit. So let me cut this out. Yeah, looks good. Cut this out here. Boom. And we got generate symbols there. We can get rid of generate symbol now, actually, right? Or equals generate symbol, and then there's generate symbols, which is in the spin. Okay. So let's go to spin score. Let's go ahead and paste this in, and symbol scoring table dot get payout, symbol scoring table dot get payout, and pattern scoring table dot get payout. I mean, I could probably just do a find and replace here. In fact, I might, yeah, let's go ahead and do that. So find, replace, symbol scoring table, and let's go ahead and replace all. Okay. And pattern table with pattern scoring table. Well, 8 occurrences. All right, we're good. All right, so that looks pretty good there. I just got to make the score public. So public int score, and then yeah, it looks good. All right, so we got score diag. Yeah, we got all that shit. Return it. So basically, this is going to score everything, and this will be used by a, yeah, so it takes in the symbols there. Okay, so we're good. So our slot machine now, we just got to make this symbol frequency table. Symbol, so we get rid of this shit. We don't need the pattern table anymore. And we just do this as symbol frequency table. And actually, let me go back to spin score, symbol scoring table. Yeah, okay, no, we're good, we're good. All right, so slot machine there, blah, 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 blah. And then this one, let's just go ahead and do that. Boom. We just iterate through it now. Looking good, looking good. So symbol table, let's go ahead and rename this to symbol frequency table. To bail. All right, table. All right, there we go, there we go. Okay. So we have divvied out our logic here. So now this is just generating symbols for us. Later, it's going to get more complex when we add in luck and there's other shit that happens as well, right? So we'll deal with that when we get to it. Let's see here. So yeah, looking good, looking good. Okay, so that's all good. Let's do our spin score next. So this is looking good as well. And yeah, we just generate all these separately. And then now what we'll be doing instead of doing this kind of shit is we'll be making more objects essentially. Okay. Okay. We're all good now. I'll come back to this later. Let me just get rid of this. Well, I'll keep it now. Whatever. Who cares? It doesn't matter because I'm not going to be running anything yet. Let's get back to scoring now. So we got through diagonals. I actually want to go back and fix vert. I don't think it makes sense to be doing it in this like generalized way because it doesn't make sense. All right. So, for example, what does it mean to score a diagonal or even a 3, for example, on a larger grid? So I think I'm just not going to do that anymore, and instead I'm just going to make this a lot more simple. So instead what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to make this essentially the same thing for vert and then update it for the vertical shit. So this should start at 0. We actually don't even need to We just need to go through 5, really. So, I'm trying to remember which dimension is which. So I is representing the length of... Which one is that? So I would be, so score horizontal. We go through... Oh, let me go back to the... Sorry, it's been a while. I don't remember exactly which dimension is which. So it is 5, 3. So I is the horizontal dimension. Okay, there we go. I should be the horizontal dimension here. So let's go ahead and do this. We don't need to have 2 loops anymore. This was just set up so that it could be... This is basically 1 loop down here. I was just setting it up to be more generalized. So I guess I could do the same thing here. Why not? 1, yeah, so I should be 0 now, and this one should go all the way through. We can keep this the same, it doesn't really matter. We're just going through the middle row now, and then ij, and then instead of doing -1 on I, we'll just do j minus, so I, j minus 1, because we wanted to get the correct horizontal position, but then yada yada yada, you know what I'm saying? And I will be constant, j plus 1, and we do the same thing down here. Actually, we only need to do it once, too. Yeah, that's it. That's the whole thing. It's going to be I, j minus 1, I, j plus 1, and yeah. So this is basically what it's doing, is it's saying, like, go through all of the middle symbols in the array. Let me just go back to the picture so it's a little more clear. Did I close the fucking picture? What am I doing? I'm stupid. Let me go back there. All right. So go through every single column, right? You can see here, it's for each horizontal position. And then this is just saying for int j equals 1, j is blah, blah, blah. It doesn't matter. It's fine. Basically, go through each of these and then check if the one above it and below it is the same. And if it is, then you pay it out. All right? That's the whole thing. All right, good stuff. So... we've got our score horizontal, score vertical, score diagonal. Now let's do scoring our zig and our zag. Now I'm wondering if we can refactor this to use the same kind of logic, right? Because, let me get an Excel spreadsheet open real quick here. Somebody's fucking calling me? Oh, no. There is a, okay, never mind. Just my phone. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. All right, here we go. Here we go. Okay, so I got Excel open here, and so let's go ahead and plot out the zig and the zag so we just know what we're talking about. So the zig goes from 0 to, I go down like this. So this is 0, 0. This is 0, 1. Let me just put in all the fucking numbers. It's fine, so we can just see the whole grid here. Okay, so we got 0, 1, and... let's do 1 and 1 and 1. I wonder if, is Excel good enough to know how to continue the pattern here? No, it is not. Okay. Well, okay. Let me, it's fucking fine. I don't want to fill out this whole thing. Yeah, let's fucking do it. Okay. Let's just do it like this. It'll take me 2 seconds here. Okay, boom. And this one is 2. 2 and 2, and then this one is 3 and 3 and 3, and then finally one more column here. This will be 4, 4, 4. Okay, boom. All right, so these are the coordinates that we're looking at here. Basically, I want to see if I can make a little algorithm, generalized thing that captures both the zig and the zag. All right, so this is our base table. Let me just copy this so that we have a, 2 copies now. All right, so the zig goes up, so it goes like this, and then the zag goes like this. So this one, I mean, basically, I could just put in the, honestly, what I could do is I could have a generalized method that takes in a sequence of coordinates, because these ones are all, yeah, look, we got zig and we got zag, we got above and below. I, and then jackpot. These are all constrained to the size of the grid, and they can't be found anywhere else like the horizontal inverts can. So what I could do is I could have a generalized method that takes in the positions of the scoring cells, checks if they are all the same symbol, and then if they are, pays out based on like a multiplier, right? So basically I could have a Boolean method, a Boolean helper method that checks if, yeah, if all of these ones are the same. And then based on that, pay out. So yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Okay. So how do I want to do that? So we got score diag, score blah, blah, blah. Do I want to have... So let's write that helper method. Okay, let's write that helper method here. Okay. I don't want to... I keep zooming out because I generally like to have it more zoomed out, but I'm trying to make this readable for the audience. All right, so let's do private bool pattern, or sorry, like full screen pattern is scoring. Okay. And it should take in... Yeah, so what I could do is I could take in... Yeah. So I need to pass in something that indicates this pattern, right? An object that indicates this pattern. So it could be a... basically just a sequence of points. So I could use just a sequence of tuples and then check that all of those are the same. And let's also output the scoring symbol as well. Right? Yeah, because we might as well. Either that, I don't know if I need to do that necessarily. I guess I could just check. Yeah, it's a little cleaner if I do that. All right, so this is going to be a Boolean that outputs the... Yeah, let's do it like this. Okay, so the thing that I should take in will be a I enumerable of tuples of int. So those will be the points. So those will be scoring points, right? So something I just need to enumerate through it, and then I will get out all of the points. Yeah, and I just need to check to make sure that they're all the same. Then I'll have an output parameter, so out symbol scoring symbol, which will be null. Or sorry, which will be symbol not none. No, actually I can't do that. Sorry, that's default variable. I just have to set that initially. So let's go ahead and do out like that. So out scoring symbol. All right, there we go. So let's go ahead and do this. So scoring symbol equals symbol dot none. Just like that, okay? Now, all I gotta do is I just gotta iterate through this and then check to make sure that these are all the same. And so what I'm gonna have the contract be is that if the, what is going on here? No, that's fine. That's all good. Yeah, okay. So, what is going on? Do I not have enough curly bracket? Oh, it's outside of the object. That's in the namespace. All right, there we go. There we go. Okay, now we're cooking. Okay, so we got a private method bool. I'm gonna make it so that the contract is that if this is false, whatever's in the scoring symbol is invalid. Simplifies things. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. So I'm gonna say checks to see if a given full screen pattern is scoring. So scoring points, the set of points that are scoring in the pattern. And then this scoring symbol, if the pattern is scoring, will contain the symbol that is scoring, right? Oh, I need to take in the, yeah, I need to take in the fucking spin too. This can actually just, this doesn't even need any of the state here, right? So this could be a static helper method because it doesn't need the pattern table, right? So let's go ahead and move that to another utilities class. So we got settings, we got interface, blah, 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 blah. Let's go ahead and move that to its own. We'll start a new scoring utils. Usually don't like to have utils classes, but this is specific enough that it should be okay. Public static class scoring utils. I just have my shit clean here. All right, so collection of utilities used when scoring spins. Okay, so we got scoring utils now. Let's go ahead and move that from the spin scorer, this right here, over to the scoring utils right here. Okay. This needs to take in, so let's go ahead and just move this to its own line here. It needs to take in a spin. So symbol spin. Okay, there we go. Let's go ahead and add that in here. So param blah blah blah. Yep, there we go. The spin to check for the pattern. Sure. Will contain a symbol that is scoring. There we go. Turns true if the pattern scoring in spin, false otherwise. Okay. Boom. There we go. So, let's go ahead and do that. And then, actually, let's do this. So, let's say, yeah, this is fine, actually. This is fine. So, so it's just enumerable. Yeah, it's all good. We start off as symbol.none. Yeah, so for each var point in scoring points, if yeah, okay, yeah, here we go. If spin of point.item1 point.item2, sorry, if let's do it like this. So if scoring symbol equals symbol none, start off with that, then scoring, let's do this. Okay, so var, I'm kind of jumping around here. It'll make sense in a sec. So var, let's see, cur symbol, that equals this right here. So this is the symbol that we're talking about. Okay, boom. If scoring symbol equals symbol.none, cur symbol equals scoring, or sorry, not cur symbol, it's scoring symbol equals cur symbol. There we go. Now, else if this, so this will basically set us to our initial one so that we can do this without, it's enumerable, so it's just easier to do it this way. Okay, I wanted to keep this general, right? So if I was a list, I could just get the first element. This is enumerable, so I don't want to have to fucking do that. Anyway, else if spin, although is there a first method here? Let me just check. So scoring points dot, is there like first? Oh, there is first actually. So I could actually set it up like that, and then I don't have to worry about this. So let's go ahead and do that. Equals spin of scoring points dot first dot item 1 scoring points dot first dot item 2. There we go. Okay, let's just do it like that, then that makes it a little bit easier. Okay, I don't have to have this case then, so then let's just go through it like this. So if cur symbol does not equal scoring, sorry, does not equal scoring symbols, there we go. Return false. Boom. Although then, okay, but if we're doing this though, then we're double counting the first one. Okay, let's go back. Let's go back to how I had it before. It's easier. It's a little more efficient that way. Okay, we'll start it off as none. No big. Okay, this is no big. There we go. All right, so scoring points. No, I don't need that shit. Okay, there we go. Sorry, I am waffling right now, but sometimes this happens. If curse symbol does not equal scoring symbol, then just return false. Yeah, so we don't even need that there. Return false. Okay. Boom. All right, and then let's go ahead and return true. Okay. What is this complaining about? Oh, static. Static bool. There we go. So this is a static class, is a static method here. Changes to public, so it's a util method. Full screen pattern is scoring. We take the spin, scoring points, scoring symbol. We go through each scoring point, and then we check if it is all the same. There we go. Okay. Okay, so here's what I need to do now, is I need to create the different patterns. Let's go to the settings. Starting table. Let's go ahead and do this as well. So let's do, actually, I'll put it in the scoring utils, actually. It should be fine here. All right, so public read-only, actually, it could be a can you do a const arrays? No, you can't do const arrays. Can you? Let me try. Const, symbol, sorry, tuple, yeah, so tuple, int array. Can you do a const array of tuples? Let me just check. Looks like no. Let me just check here. Identifier. Yeah, it must be constant. Alright, so let's do public static read-only tuple array of ints. Oh, I have to call it something, obviously. Okay, there we go. Which will be, let's do zig scoring points equals this. We'll have it be public. Well, I mean, sure, it can be public for now. It doesn't really matter. Well, we'll start up private. No, we need it. We need to be public because we need to reference it in the other table. All right. So, what are the points that are scoring in Zig's case? Well, it's 0, 2, 1, 1, 2, 0, 3, 1, 3, 2. So I'm gonna move that over here so I can see it. So I think I could just do this, right? Does that work for tuples? Let me check. 0, 2. Looks like no. Okay, well that's fine. Fine. New tuple int of 0, 2. Is there a simplification here? New expression can be simplified using new. Okay, great. We love to see that. All right, I just let the fucking IDE hard carry me every fucking time. This is the zig, right? Let me just check. Zig is, yes, the upward one. Okay. So let's go ahead and do that. So 1, 1, and then 2, 0, and then 3, 1, and 4, 2. Okay. Boom. Okay, so then public static read-only tuple of int zag scoring points equals this shit. And let me just go ahead and copy and paste this. It's the same number of points. I'll switch out what it is. So this is 0, 0. This is 1, 1. This is 2, 2. This is 3, 1. And 4, 0. Okay. So that's the zag. What's next? So we got above and below. Okay. Which are basically the same things as the zig and zag. Above, which is the same thing as the zag plus 3 additional, or sorry, the zig with 3 additional points. So let's just go ahead and do that. So we have the same thing here, and then let's go ahead and put in, what would that be? 1, 2. Let me make sure this is set up properly, though. Oh, wait, I might be doing this the wrong way around. If I go to the slot machine, okay, never mind. No, that's... Yeah, that's right, We're good, we're good. We're good. Cool. That is correct. It should be correct. Could be wrong. Okay, so this one should be 1, 2. Or sorry, 1, yeah, 1, 2, and then 2, 2, and then 3, 2. 3, 2. Okay, good stuff. Now we do a below. Below scoring points. And this one, we will do 0, 1, 0, 2, 0, 3. Okay. So we got zig, we got zag, we got above, we got below, we got I next. Okay, so I is next. So let's go ahead and just plot it out here just so I can read it off a fucking screen because I'm stupid. So these two and these two and those three and those three. Okay, easy enough. Boom. All right, let me go ahead and copy that off then. And let's just take fucking this one. I don't care. Okay. So, I scoring points. Boom. And let me go ahead and do this. So we'll do 0, 1. Let's do 1, 1. We'll do 3, 1. 4, 1. Do 1, 0. 2, 0. 3, 0. And then we'll do 1, 2. Let me just copy this. This will make it easier. 1, 2. 2, 2. And 3, 2. And that right there is the I. But the final one, I mean, I don't need to necessarily... I could make a different method for fucking jackpot, so it's not just me copying and pasting all of these points in. But I mean, I could also just use the same shit, right? I mean, I mean, it's the same thing. I'm just reading it from a fucking thing, but prevents me from... No, whatever. I don't care. It's fine. It's fine. Let's just do it the same way. Okay, here we go. So let's go ahead and... no, fuck it. I'm just gonna... It's stupid to fucking pass all this dumb shit. Yeah, right. I mean, although... God, I'm stupid, man. I'm stupid. Fuck it, man. Fuck it. We're just gonna do this. I don't care. Okay, I'll come back to it later if it's stupid. I mean, it is stupid, whatever. Jackpot, scoring points. We're just gonna do it in order. Okay, so new 0, 1. Okay, and or sorry, 0, 0, and then let's do 0, 1, 0, 2. 1, 1, 1. 2, 2, 2. 3, 3, 3. 4, 4, 4. And that's it. Right? Yeah, that's it. Okay, okay. Whatever. We're moving on. And then let's go back to our spin score here. So what I'm going to do is We want to do this, actually 2. Let's go ahead and times 3 times the multiplier, right? Does it matter if I do the multiplier? Yeah, the multiplier applies to the... I'm thinking mathematically, right? So basically I want to take into account the multiplier. You can see like right here, right? I mean, basically we're just taking the symbols, we're multiplying them together, we're just multiplying everything together, right? There's no addition. So technically I should be able to just compute everything and then multiply it by both the symbols multiplier and then the pattern multiplier. I mean, really, is there a difference between the symbols multiplier and the pattern multiplier? I mean, other than they get updated independently? Not really, right? Oh, I do need to add the pattern multiplier as well. Might as well do that now. Okay, so pattern scoring table. We need int starting mult as well, right? And then we'll have a public int multiplier get set. There we go. And this multiplier equals starting mults. Did I add that at the end of the symbol frequency? Sorry, not symbol scoring table. I did. Okay. Yeah, so we need that in the pattern scoring table as well. We got to get in set right there. Let's go to settings and add in, so this is the starting symbol to path, starting symbol to chance. And let's go ahead and do public int static, or public const int starting symbol mults equals 1, and public const int starting pattern mult equals 1. There we go. All right. So, I mean, really, at the end of the day, this is all going into the same fucking thing. So I can just do all of this shit independently and then multiply it by the pattern mult and the symbol mult, right? Am I wrong about that? I'm just trying to think here. Yeah, I mean, they're all getting multiplied by the same shit. So yeah, let me just go ahead and I'll make that simplification for now, and if I realize that I'm being stupid, I'll correct it later. Anyway, result plus equals, yeah, okay, here we go. So, let me think here. Scoring utils. This one is full screen pattern is scoring. And then, actually, I got this one. Public, static. No, we need that in this. So let's go ahead and move this back to the spin scorer here. And we'll do private score full screen pattern. There we go. Okay, and this takes in a symbols. Just like that. Okay. Let's change this to spin, by the way. Spin. 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 Oops, shit. Spin. Spin. And, spin. All right, we're already good there. All right, spin score. There we go. Okay, so score full screen pattern. What I'm going to do is do this. If yes, so let's do var symbol equals symbol dot none. If not scoring utils dot full screen pattern is scoring of spin with the let's do it like this. So I enumerable tuple of int scoring points. Need to take that in. Yeah, so let's go ahead and do that. And then I'm going to need the... no, let's do it like this. This will be better. Spin, and then pattern. Okay. There we go. So what I want to do here, actually, is add another util method over here. Util function, I should say. Public static... we don't need to return the arrays. We could just return enumerables, I think. Enumerable. Yeah, so those actually can be private. There we go. This is going to be better. This is going to be better. Of tuples of int get scoring points for pattern. There we go. And then pattern. There we go. Okay, now we're making some sense. So switch pattern, and this is going to be case pattern.zig, or sorry, case pattern.zig. Yeah, we're fine. Return zig scoring points. Case pattern.zag. Return zag scoring points. Case pattern dot above. Return above scoring points. Case pattern dot below. Return below starting points. Case pattern dot what is it? I, is that the next one? I and then jackpot, yeah. I return I scoring points. Case pattern dot jackpot. Make this consistent there. Okay. Jackpot return jackpot scoring points. Okay. Now these can all become private now, actually. Private. We don't need to worry about this. Except for if it's a static method, do I still name it like that? Yeah, fuck it, whatever, I don't care. Private. No. We need to rename it. We need to rename it. Alright, so rename zig. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. Alright, and then in this case, return new. I'm gonna throw argument exception. Throw argument exception. Pattern is not full screen. Usually don't like to throw exceptions, but whatever. We don't care. Okay. There we go. So, we'll make these private. Though they can be public, who cares? It doesn't. I'm the one fucking using it. What am I doing? I'm getting stupid with it. All right. So, spin score here. So pattern. Okay. So we got the spin. We got that. Blah 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 blah. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the scoring points from the pattern. I mean, I could even just have that be part of. Nah, let's just keep that the same. Okay. So here we go. Here we go. Spin score here. So var pattern scoring points equals scoring utils dot get scoring points for pattern. There we go. And then if not scoring utils dot full screen pattern is scoring of spin and scoring pattern scoring points out symbol return private int. There we go, sorry. Private int, bloop, return 0. Right? Yeah. Else, we're going to return. Yeah, actually, those need to be public anyway. What am I talking about? Okay, return. No, they don't need to be public. Whatever, it's fine. Return. Here we go. Yeah. Okay, return. Alright, I'm trying to remember all this shit. Pattern scoring table. Pattern scoring table. Dot get payout. Not get hash code, get payout. For pattern. Ooh, we need to actually do it like this. So it's going to be return symbol this dot symbol scoring table dot get payout of symbol times pattern scoring points dot count times pattern scoring table dot get payout for pattern. Yeah. And this all needs to be an int. So whatever this is an int of all of this shit. Okay? Int. This dot symbol scoring table that get payout for the symbol times the payout times the count in the scoring points times the payout for the pattern. Rounded, or, you know, truncated to the nearest int, or sorry, just truncated to an integer. And I think that's good. Okay, there we go. So, what I do now is I do result plus equals score full screen pattern of spin pattern dot zig. We'll do the same thing here. Zag. Above. Below. Below me. I. Jackpot. Now there's probably some, you know, fucking optimizations I can do in this case. Like, for example, I know it's impossible to get the jackpot if anything above here added 0, right? So that could be an optimization. But this premature optimization, we'll revisit it if it becomes an issue, okay? So that should be everything, I think, right? Yeah, it looks good. Okay, so... Oh, result times this dot symbol scoring table dot multiplier times this dot symbol, or sorry, pattern scoring table dot multiplier. Okay. I believe this holds true because, I mean, for every pattern it would be carried through. So, and same with every symbol it would be carried through, so it should be all good in the hood, I believe. Alright, so that should be good now, I think. So let's go ahead and give it a whirl. Let's go ahead and try it out. Okay, so we want to do this instead. So let me just start this over. Var symbol frequency table equals new symbol frequency table settings for starting tables dot where is it, starting symbol to chance. Boom. Okay. Var symbol payout, or sorry, symbol scoring table was new symbol scoring table starting tables dot starting symbol to payout. Okay. Starting symbol. What? Oh, the other thing too. Starting tables dot starting symbol mult. There we go. Let's go ahead and put these on new lines so we can see this shit. Boom. Okay. And var pattern scoring table equals new pattern scoring table, which will be starting tables dot starting pattern to payout. Let's put this on its own line, and then starting tables dot starting pattern mult. Okay, so we got our 3 tables generated. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to just try to score a spin. So let's see here. Var spin equals new symbol like this, and then we'll just do it like this. Okay, so boom. And let's see what a jackpot pays out. So symbol dot let's do bells. Why not? Feeling Animal Crossing. Alright, so bell, bell, bell. And let's go like this. Okay, boom, 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 boom. Need some commas. Boom, boom. Okay. And then var spin score. Or sorry, var spin score equals new spin scorer with the symbol scoring table and pattern scoring table. And console dot write line spin scorer dot score spin. See what it comes up with. Okay. Throws an exception. We'll see what's up. Throws an exception. Out of range. Let's see. So index outside the bounds of the array. Did I get these backwards? So 03.03. Why is it going to 3? 2, 1, 0, blah, 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 blah. This is in full screen patterns. Where's he getting 03 from? Oh, right here. New. Oh, I did above and below wrong here. Okay, so this should be. Let me go back to this. It should be 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, 2, and then this one is yeah, I did this backwards. So it's 1, 2, 3, and this is always 0, 0, 0. Okay. Good catch. Let's go ahead and run that again. 1,380. Okay. Is that correct? Is the question. Let's go ahead and do the math ourselves, buddy. All right, so we'll just run it through and make sure that we're all good. So let's go to the where's our starting table? Let me just look at the fucking chart here. Okay. So I'm just going to make sure as a little sanity check that this is correct. So I'm going to have the Excel spreadsheet on this side. I'm going to have this over here so I can see what's up. So we did with bells, right? Okay, so we got 3. So bell amount is 3. Okay, so let's go ahead and just calculate this out. So we should have, so let's do whore first, right? It should be this amount. You know, fuck it. I'm doing a quick calculation. What am I doing? Equals 3 times. It should be 3 rows of 5. So 3 times 5 times what is the pattern payout for a horizontal XL? That is 3. All right. So 3 times 5 times 3. That should be the horizontal scoring, right? Yep. And then we want to do verticals next. So vert is 3 times 3 times 5. Wait. So 3 times 5, no, times 3, because there's 3 rows, times 3. All right, so 135. There we go. All right, now diag. So diag, that should be 3 times 3 for the 3 individual things. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry, 1, 2, 3 across, 1, 2, 3 the other way. So that would be 6. 6 diagonals, right? And those each pay out 1 as well. So we got diagonals, then we got zig. So zig equals, what would that be? That would be 3 times 5 times 4. Zag should be the same thing. And then above equals, that would be 3 times 8 times, what is the multiplier here? 7. 3 times 8 times 7. Wait, did I do 3 times 5 times 4? Yeah. So 3 times 8 times 7. Below is the same as above. I is 3 times, what is that? 6, 8, 10. 3 times 10 times 8. And then jackpot equals 3 times 15 times 10. Okay? The sum of all of this shit, 1380. Alright. There we go. So, seems to be working properly. Good stuff. So now we've got the general scoring shit working. So now the first thing I want to see is what the likelihood, how long have I been recording, by the way? Hour and 10. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do before I get into the bells and whistles of the fucking, the whatchamacallits, the luck and the frequency modifiers and that sort of thing. What I want to do is I just want to see what the likelihood of getting to 75 with 21 spins is, 9 spins, that sort of thing, right? So let me go ahead and do that. So keep all this shit. We need a random number generator. Random, I'm sorry, var r equals new random here. And yeah, we'll keep our spin score here, and let's get rid of this because we're not going to be doing individual spins anymore. So let's get rid of that as well. So we got our tables, we got our random number generator, we got our spin score. Let's make our slot machine. Our slot machine is equals new slot machine that needs R and just the symbol frequency table. Frequency table. Yep. And now what I want to do is I want to do this. So let's go public, let's do const int num trials equals 100,000 because we love our 100,000 bots. And then we'll do for int I equals 0, I is less than num trials, I plus plus. Let's do num spins as well. Const int num spins equals 21. We'll start with 21. 21. Okay, so once again, there may be some extra logic to make something like a jackpot more frequent. I don't know that yet. I'll have to look at the code and get back to it. But for now, we're just going to assume the machine is as advertised, right? I want to see how many times in 21 spins. How much do you start off with again? How much money? It was like 13, right? So let's do const int starting money equals 13. And what is it? You pay 7 for var. Okay, let's not do starting money. Let's do just to simplify this because I'm running out of time here. I'm just going to do a const int modifier, or sorry, like cost. Okay, so cost in this case, I think it's, doesn't it cost 7 coins to do 7 spins? I'd have to fucking look. I can't remember. Let's just assume it's 1 per spin for now, because I can't remember and I don't want to look it up. So it's going to be 21 total cost minus the 13 that we start with, so it'd be 8. 8 should be the modifier that we have at the end of this, okay? So number of spins, cost is 21, and then const int goal equals 75. So we're going to see how many times we get to 75 with 21 spins worth a cost of 8. So really, we could just make this, we could just get the goal to be whatever that is minus 8, which would be, what would that be? That'd be 67. So let's just say the goal is 67, save ourselves a little bit of headache. Okay, here we go. Okay, goal is 67. So for the number of trials, var total equals 0. Okay, total equals 0. For int j equals 0, j is less than num spins, j plus plus, slot machine dot spin, we'll do total plus equals spin scorer dot score slot machine dot spin, and then if, let's do up here var num successes equals 0. Okay, and then if total equals or sorry is greater than or equal to goal num successes plus plus, and then console.write line num successes. Yeah, we'll know that that's out of 100,000. Let's go ahead and run that, see what happens. It's running a lot, and it'll take a bit here. That's how, you know, 100,000 spins could take a while, but we see here that 75,448 were able to do it. So, given that, I'm curious. So there might be some jackpot likelihood mechanisms, because I would assume that you wouldn't want the first stage to only be completable 75% of the time. So I'll have to look at the code there. But that's yeah, that's lower than I thought it would be, to be honest. But yeah, I'll have to take a look at that. Okay, so 75% of the time you are making it to past round 1 without any modifiers, which seems like you would, if this is the case, you would definitely want to be buying items to get past round 1. Okay. Let's say that you did 17 spins, right? So you take 1 for 3 to get extra tickets, right? Yeah. Let's go ahead and see what your likelihood is then with 17 spins. It's going to drop to 55%. Okay. Interesting. And then finally, let's say that you did... So right, that'd be 14 plus 3, so then it'd be 7 plus 6, so let's say 13. So you do 2 rounds of 3 spins, and then 1 round of 7. Be 30,000. All right, so 30%. So seems pretty tight on the first round, if I'm understanding this all correctly. But in any case, kind of interesting. Hope that you got something out of this. I mean, a lot of the time that I spent today was kind of divvying out and moving things around. That's kind of how it goes. Like I said, I think that a big part of having a sustainable project is making sure that the right functionality is defined correctly, named correctly, placed in the right place, organized, that sort of a thing. You're setting yourself up for success if you take the time to do that kind of shit at the beginning, and it's kind of boring for a lot of people. I mean, you're kind of just doing a lot of refactoring, moving things around, but it's like I feel like I have a pretty good setup here where now I can kind of start moving and implementing and changing things. I don't have to like overhaul everything necessarily. And I'm divvying out responsibility. As you can see here, I'm divvying this out to a frequency table. I'm making sure that that certain things are just getting passed pretty much exactly what they need, so it doesn't get fucking messy everywhere. Like, what ends up happening with a lot of projects is you start to kind of just throw your hands up in the air and be like, okay, well, just make a fucking God object that has everything in it. And it gets really messy because that's like, okay, now I have this giant blob of state. You know, what do I do with it? Same thing can happen if you have a lot of globals. That's why I try to keep my globals pretty simple. You know, things like this. When you go to the scoring utils, there are all these different, you know, these things which can actually be private, right? So all I really need are these static methods that give me what I need at that particular time, right? But it's divvying up the functionality. It makes it so that the code base is more navigable. I'm probably going to find spots to put these different things in folders, so it's a little bit more organized off of that. But it's like, you can see here, yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, all I've really done is I've created the slot machine, but there's all of this other shit that I'm setting up to help set me up in the future as I continue to extend this, because it's going to get a lot more complicated when I start adding things like luck and items. You know, I'm going to want to have dedicated item folders, and I want the logic to be cleaner, right? So that I'm not just accessing giant blobs of state with the items, right? I'm giving the items the state that they need to be able to do whatever they do, you know, that sort of a thing. It's going to be a lot cleaner if I do that. So basically, patterns I'm trying to follow are dependency injection, where I'm just passing the shit that I need. I'm going to have kind of layers of managers that are kind of managing these different systems and managing the interoperability between all these different things, right? Moving data from one object to another so it all stays separate and clean. This is the way that I prefer to do my coding, right? It makes it cleaner in my head. I can easily go over here and be like, you know, figuring out what's going on. It's like, okay, sweet. I've got my scoring tables here. If I need to update it, I need to be passing whatever object needs to update it, the pattern scoring table, you know, or the, you know, symbol frequency needs to be updated. All right, so I need this to be passed around wherever. I have the scoring logic in its own dedicated place. If I need to update this, okay, let me go to the spin scorer, right? I try to refactor so that if there's like a difference in scoring that I need to make, I just make it in one place right here, you know? I have one method that's, sorry, this one. One method that's doing it, so if I have a bug here, I just change it in this one place, and all of a sudden I've fixed it for zigzag, above, below, I, and jackpot without needing to, you know, bother about it. Once again, I mean, I could have probably not done this with jackpot, but it's fine, you know. It works for now. And, you know, slot machine is lightweight. It reduces the cognitive load of when you open up a file and you just see like a fuckload of stuff, you know? And so that's kind of the goal with what I'm doing here. So once again, lots of time spent just organizing, but it's time well spent in coding. A lot of people think coding is, you know, knowing about the most efficient way to do things, that sort of thing, you know, having all the know-how about, you know, technical knowledge and stuff like that. And that's definitely, you know, good to have. But a lot of coding is just figuring out how to define things, how to name things, how to organize things, how to manage the data flow between different parts of your program so that you have a manageable code base. So, getting off my soapbox now, I'm just saying that I think this shit is important to do. So, there you go. Hope you enjoyed watching. I think, you know, I'm kind of just working, you know, I'm just working on this shit in real time, but maybe for people who are curious to see what a project looks like from front to back, you know, maybe they'll glean something from this. So, hope you enjoyed watching. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.